Good evening. We'll have a full report on this dramatic day and historic day in Egypt later on A News, but we begin with vindication for the Victoria Police Department for a VicPD officer who kicked and kneed a suspect last March in a brawl outside a nightclub. The officer will not face criminal charges. The incident was caught on video that went viral, seen more than 250,000 times online. Vancouver police investigated the case. The Crown says it will not proceed with criminal charges. A News reporter Mary Beth Burton has more on the decision and the reaction.
More than 260,000 YouTube viewers have watched a Victoria police officer kick and/or knee two men outside a Victoria nightclub last March. Police were called to a bloody brawl involving a group of young men, including one unconscious male on the ground. Today, the Criminal Justice Branch said no charges will be laid against the officer.
Circumstances generally showed that the officers had arrived at a very unsafe and uncontrolled situation, and that the use of force was designed to facilitate handcuffing these two individuals as they were being taken into custody, and it was therefore lawful.
6 men were taken into custody by police. None of them were charged with a crime, although attending officers said an assault causing bodily harm was underway and they feared it might turn into a homicide. The chief vowed there would be a transparent investigation of allegations of excessive force by his officer. Today, he gave a brief statement but took no questions from reporters.
Much public discussion and the reaction to the video, and rightly so. The images were disturbing. But the reality is that police work is often this way. People do not always choose to be cooperative. They fight, they kick, they punch, they bleed, and they resist.
The video that was taken here by a witness lasted 57 seconds and shocked most people who saw it, including Victoria's police chief. But in its investigation, the Criminal Justice Branch said the incident here played out for closer to 5 to 20 minutes. The lawyer who represents the 2 men who were kicked says it's preposterous for police to claim one of his clients was fleeing from officers.
What the Crown has determined, essentially it appears, is that it was so urgent to kick this crawling man who already has these injuries, so urgent, to handcuff this crawling man who already has these injuries, that he somehow posed such a threat and there was such a sense of emergency that the kicks depicted on that video were justified.
Neary's client had no comment today but spoke with A News last year.
I feel like I'm pretty much worthless from everybody seeing that video.
Neary says Tyler Archer and the other victims share his view of the Crown's decision.
Shocked and appalled, in fact, wouldn't be an overstatement. I think it's extremely regrettable that the Crown has come to this decision. And I frankly think that this decision is going to come to be seen in the long term by most people as a real black mark on the administration of justice.
The officer is a subject of a Police Act investigation, and Neary has filed a civil lawsuit against VicPD. With the criminal matter resolved, the officer is returning to his regular duties.
He is an outstanding officer, and this process has been incredibly hard on him and his family. Despite the vilification, the death threats, the public tarnishing of his image, he wanted to return to full duties and get back to doing what he loves.
And while the officer will not be tried in a criminal court, judgment may have already been made in the court of public opinion. In Victoria, Mary Beth Burton, A News.